Welcome back to the show. You are one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit that Liberty Bell icon on your screen here on YouTube to get notifications of all the videos that will be posted on this channel. And as well, you can get involved in the conversation and discussions every single week by using the hashtag #OneOnOneWes. That is hashtag #OneOnOneWes if you'd like to partake in the discussions every single week in the wide world of sports. But again, real quick, very happy to be back, and I cannot wait to get this rolling. As you can see, the new image behind you, also new image for many social media platforms, and website's going to get revamped in the very near future as well. I hope you like it, hope you enjoy, and let's get right into it. We have the Super Bowl. It is Super Bowl 53. It is amazing to think that time has flown by so fast that we're right at the end of the NFL season between now the New England Patriots and Los Angeles Rams for the victor of the upcoming Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. Very quick preview, and by the way, if you'd like to get a more in-depth preview of the Super Bowl coming up in one day, as a matter of fact, you can go to westhesportsguy.com and check out my preview. Very in-depth. And when it comes down to head coaches, the matchups, players to watch, not just the quarterbacks, and also who I predict is going to win the football game. Going into it right now, real quick, the head coaches, you got Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots going against Sean McVay, young and up-and-coming head coach with the Los Angeles Rams. Very high-powered offenses for both sides of it. If I had to get an advantage for the head coach, obviously you're going to give it to Belichick because he's got the rings to prove it. McVay, a little bit, not going to say he's a bad head coach at all, but it's just, it's stereotypical for his age. You don't expect a lot out of him right now. But again, the Rams are a very good offensive team, and he has a lot of credit to go with that. Jared Goff, obviously the quarterback with the Rams against Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. It's going to be a very one-sided affair looking at it on paper, but I think Jared Goff's going to hold his own. I think he's going to have a really solid game. It's going to come down really to defense, though. Who's going to make the defensive plays that's going to win the football game for either team? And I have to give the edge a little bit to the Rams, and it's mainly because of that front four that they have. You have Aaron Donald, who's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back seasons for the Rams. He was a just one-man show for them for the most part. Not to say that there's a lot of other less talented players on the Rams defense, but Aaron Donald's certainly at the forefront for them this entire season, really his entire career, to make a case for that. And also with the Rams, the big key for them, they're going to have to get Todd Gurley involved. If he's not rushing the ball effectively, if he's not involved in the passing game, if Marshall Faulk was more involved in that game. And the same's going to have to go with Todd Gurley this time around for the Los Angeles Rams. And of course, you also have C.J. Anderson as a viable backup, but going up against the Patriots, you have to play a perfect football game, and it's going to start with getting Gurley involved early and often. Looking at who I think is going to win this Super Bowl, well, I have to give the slight edge again to the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm not being a homer by any chance, because you can see the hat that I'm wearing. I'm not a Rams fan. I'm not a Patriots fan. I have no dog in the show. I want to see a great game. I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see a solid back and forth, and it's to be expected. Almost every single Super Bowl, pretty much actually every Super Bowl that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady has been in with the Patriots, it's been a tight-knit affair. It's been close. It's been exciting. It's been crazy. Lots of different memories you can point to in either Super Bowl that they've been involved in. And I expect the same going into this year. Rams, I have them winning it. And I have to say, the Patriots are going to make it a great game, though. You look at what happened in that opening drive with Sony Michel rushing the ball as well as he did with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a very, very solid game. I don't have any qualms about it, and I just can't wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be an exciting day. Time for the segment that you've all been waiting for. Do you remember?
You remember?
Do you remember a time when fandom and bandwagon fans and really just diehards altogether would just get along and just go with the flow and realize, okay, your team got beat. It wasn't anything unfair. Sure, you might have had some bad calls here and there, but you took the loss and you moved on. Well, apparently that that time has changed because the New Orleans Saints fans, including politicians, which, you got better things to worry about. Politicians, fans, mostly the fans, were filing lawsuits to try to get the NFL to redo the NFC Championship game by the NFL's mistake of that no-call pass interference. I'm not going to rehash it, but essentially the Rams should have been flagged for pass interference. That was very obvious, very blatant, probably the most obvious you could say in history so far, ever since replay technology came in with the NFL. But looking at it, the fans, I think, overreacted in a huge way. Why, you say? Because lawsuits. Can you put your mind around that for 1 second? They're suing to get a game outcome changed. That's in and of itself is ridiculous. And to continue on with it, how more ridiculous it is, I can't believe that our justice system actually went through with this and took it up, obviously threw it out, but the judge wrote a 17-page verdict of why he threw the lawsuit out. 17 pages. I'll help you out. It's only one sentence. Not happening. Move on. Simple. There's nothing more that needs to be said about this. It's ridiculous that you could actually bring this up in a lawsuit and try to get an outcome of a game changed. The NFL acknowledged the mistake, and you have to move on, unfortunately. They're not going to redo anything. Plus, to the point of, that was the game for the New Orleans Saints. Well, let's just assume they were going to kick a field goal that was going to end up potentially getting them the win and the victory going into the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. There's no guarantees that kicker was going to make that kick. I'm sorry. 100 times out of 100, that's not happening. He's not going to make that kick. However far it was going to be, he was not guaranteed to make the kick. Also, from the Rams' perspective, if the Rams had been called for that pass interference, I'm sure the strategy would have been to just let the Saints score a touchdown to get the ball back as quickly as you can. And then at that point, there's no guarantee the Rams were going to tie it or take it to overtime. But crazier things have happened. I've seen a Hail Mary work. Not so much a Hail Mary, but it was a lateral Mary, if you want to call it that, between the Dolphins and Patriots this year. And it worked. It should not have worked, but it did. So I can't guarantee the Saints were going to win that game anyway if you replayed it or if that play was called a pass interference like it should. Move on. You don't need to sue for outcomes of games that really have no impact on your day-to-day life. Keep it out of the justice system. Move on. Better luck next year. On to my feel-good story of the week. This comes from David Saville, courtesy of the Clemson Tigers, national champions, I might add. Clemson Tigers football team.
David Saville, come here, man. You do so much for this team, all right? Just the joy that you bring every day, the perspective, how hard you work. One of the hardest workers that we got around here. We all love you, and so we've got a special gift for you. I don't know if you're interested. I know you're busy, but the NFL, they have presented you with 2 Super Bowl tickets to the Super Bowl this year. Let's go, line them up, let's go. All right, let's go. All in on 3. 1, 2, 3. All in. Hey, congrats, man. I'm really happy for you. Appreciate you, man. He's got those tickets. How about you got 2 Super Bowl tickets, man? That is awesome. Man, I hope I get invited to go. I am so happy for you. And it's in Atlanta, close to home. You and your pops can go. Hey, you want some pops? Yeah. Call Bob Seville. Hey, Dave's got something to tell you.
I got 2 Super Bowl tickets.
Super Bowl tickets?
Yeah.
Where'd you get those?
Dabble Sweeney gave it to me.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding.
I'm not kidding.
As y'all will see, David fills the room with joy and just such a wonderful spirit. He gives our team and myself unbelievable perspective, and I have yet to see David Saville have a bad day. And again, David, we love you. Have fun, my man. You're my man. And go Tigers.
Congratulations, David Saville. I salute you. I hope you have a great time at the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, watching the Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams going toe-to-toe. And I thank you for listening and tuning in this week. I will see you next week right here on YouTube, one-on-one with yours truly, Wes the Sports Guy. Make sure you subscribe and hit that Liberty Bell button, and always use the hashtag from now on, one-on-one-Wes, to take part in the conversations every single week. Thank you, and I will see you next time.